Hello, I want to talk about Amazon DynamoDB. DynamoDB is a fully managed key value and document database that delivers single-digit millisecond performance at any scale. Its flexible data model and reliable performance make DynamoDB a great fit for mobile, web, gaming, advertising, technology, Internet of Things, and other applications. Amazon DynamoDB is on-demand capacity mode, built-in support for ACID transactions, on-demand backup, point-in-time recovery, encryption at rest. DynamoDB managed NoSQL database optimized for performance at scale. It has high availability and durability, ideal for applications with known access patterns. Access through APIs, ORMs, Object Relational Mapper, and authorized through IAM, Identity and Access Manager. It integrates well with other AWS services such as Lambda, cost-effective usage-based payment model. Benefits and features are performance at scale. DynamoDB supports some of the world's largest scale applications by providing consistent single-digit millisecond response times at any scale. You can build applications with virtually unlimited throughput and storage. No servers to manage. DynamoDB is serverless. You don't have to provision, patch, or manage servers, and you don't have to install, maintain, or operate software. DynamoDB automatically scales tables up and down to adjust for capacity and maintain performance. Enterprise ready. DynamoDB is built for mission-critical workloads, including support for ACID transactions for a broad set of applications that require complex business logic. Tables, items, and attributes. Tables, similar to other database systems, DynamoDB stores data in tables. A table is a collection of data. Items. Each table contains 0 or more items. An item is a group of attributes that is uniquely identifiable among all of other items. In a people table, each item represents a person. Attributes. Each item is composed of one or more attributes. An attribute is a fundamental data element, something that doesn't need to be broken down any further. This is Titanic dataset. As an example, I have the table. Passenger ID is partition key. Passenger class is sort key, and both of them are primary key. Embark is GSI, and passenger details is attribute. Items are these rows. Each row is the item. Now I would like to show you a quick demo. We go to DynamoDB. If it is the new one for the first time, we can see create table here. So we click on create table and we name the table like Titanic. For partition key, like here, we can have passenger ID, and sort key, we can have P class. So there are different kinds of string, number, or binary. So you can see S for a string, N for number, and B for binary in the table later. Since both of them are numbers, we can choose number. But for this one, I would like to use a string. So for setting, there are two options. Default setting is the fastest way to create your table. You can modify these settings now or after your table has been created. And the other one is customized setting. This is the advanced feature to make DynamoDB work better for your needs. You will have for customized setting table class. This is the DynamoDB standard or DynamoDB standard IA. So this is recommended for tables that store data that is infrequently accessed with storage as the dominant table cost. So we use standard. This is for general purpose table class. This is more recommended. Capacity calculator. We can calculate it. We have average item size, item read in second, item write in second. For item read seconds, we have eventually consistent, strongly consistent, or transactional. So for now, we can choose everything as a default. For read-write capacity setting, we have on-demand or provisioned. On-demand is simplified billing by paying for the actual reads and writes your applications perform. And we have managed and optimized your cost by allocating read and write capacity in advance. So this is the read capacity and this is the write capacity. Make sure you will have at least 5 capacity for minimum and for read and write. You can have as many as different capacity for read units. So these are all for secondary indexes. For example, for anything, you can check the info. Secondary indexes lets you query the data in a table using an alternate key. So this is the addition to primary key, like the GSI, as I mentioned here. For now, for making it easier, we will have only primary key. So this is the estimated cost, and this is encryption at rest. So we choose all by default. That is owned by Amazon DynamoDB. So we can add any tag we want that we can search later. We create a table. This is showing creating. It takes some time that it shows when we reload it, it shows active. So now we have our table with partition key and sort key. There are some options tools that we can see here, like overview, everything, partition key, sort key, and this is active, and item summary. And we can add items here, and I can show you later. And table capacity metrics, all of these. Next, we have indexes, global secondary indexes, GSI. that I talked about this before in the table. Monitor, we can create any alarm here that they will send an email to us as an alarm. So this is when we see the most accessed and throttled items in a table or global secondary index. These are all metrics, different latency or scan latency in milliseconds or any event time to leave. This is showing the caching and scan and query and the errors or any transaction. So global tables, we can have, now we have in Virginia East 1 created this table. We can have the create replica like other regions can have access to this, and it will be a master and the other one will be the slave, and then we have the replica and this is synchronizing every table, and we can have in any region different table, the same table in different regions. So we have point in time recovery and we have backups. We have different, we can create different backups, or we can have point in time recovery that continuously backups our data for 35 days to help us protect against accidental write or deletes. We can export this table to S3 bucket, or we can have Amazon Kinesis data stream for DynamoDB. So this one replicates the changes to Kinesis data stream. We can have stream details, any capture item level changes in our table, and push the changes to DynamoDB stream. We have all the table capacity and auto scaling activities, time to leave. This is like caching. We can make it enable or not, and encryption, and we can add the tag here again if we want to edit it. For now, we go to items and we create in table Titanic. We create the item. This is the JSON format, S for a string, and we can add it here, or we can create in form, or we can have different attributes. For passenger ID, so for now, 892. So we create the item and we create another one, 893 and 2. And we create another item. So we can add any other item we want, but for now I can show you how we can add item here. So this is the query for like SQL. We can select star. Yeah, so it shows everything. So we have backups that we talked about this before. We can export to S3 bucket or reserve capacity. So this is the approximate capacity. Here items. Okay, so now we can have scan the Titanic, run. So we have everything here scanned, and then we can filter according to attribute name, anything that we have a string equal to, or any contains or less than, or anything that we can add here as a value. For example, we have like passenger ID, and equals to 893. So we could add more 893 here. It doesn't confuse because we have P class as a here you can see partition key and sort key. So we have two kinds of keys, and then there is no mistake for DynamoDB to choose them. So if we have 892, 2892 here, it doesn't make mistake because we have sort key as a separator too. Here we can run it. So it shows only passenger ID 893. Also, we can query. So the passenger ID partition key, we can use 892. Passenger ID 892, and passenger class it can be 3. So we have one item in the table that has passenger ID 892 and passenger class equals to 3. 893 2. So we have. I think this is everything that I can talk about the DynamoDB. I hope you like it.